Hello guys, it's Ethan here. Here comes another deck profile video. As the title you guys already know, I'm going to do a deck profile covering the Eldlich, notably the pure Eldlich, which I was playing during the Remote Duel event by Konami. Yeah, as you can, this is a pretty playmat I got from Remote Duel Battle Royale 2.0. I own this deck for like half a year already, so I keep on play testing with it. Mix it with the Brave token or even the branded fusions, and then ultimately I just cut it all off and then just go for the pure, because I don't want to sacrifice the raw advantage of pure Eldlich, which is the resilient to hand traps. Because if you are adopting the Brave token or the branded fusion package, you just open up yourself vulnerable to hand traps, and there's also a tendency to draw into those bricks. So I think pure is the way to go. Yeah, you can definitely try out Brave and branded fusion in Eldlich. It's fun. It's definitely fun. But in terms of like, if your aims are to win, as because of this event, we are aiming for the title of King of Games, so that we can claim the playmat. That's why this is the deck I opt to go for. And without further ado, let's get right into the deck profile. Alright, starting off with the main monster. In fact, this is the only monster I play in this deck, which is the Eldlich, the Golden Lord. You can cut one out because this kind of brick going first. You have to take in consideration like during the grind game with some mid-range deck. Because some decks like they have a tendency to keep on banishing my stuff in the grave, so I don't want to have like just 2 copy and then have 2 copy of this being banished and just loses. So that's why I keep it at 3. Yeah, going first you can definitely side one out depending on your opponents. If it's kinda like it's a combo deck, yeah, just cut one down. And then one of the best thing of playing Eldlich is you can include a lot of pots, because you don't bother about your extra deck. 3 extravagance and 2 prosperity. I think this is the great ratio, although sometimes I prefer resolving prosperity over extravagance, because I want to draw into some specific cards. Sometimes I just open up with a bunch of floodgates without any Eldlich cards. Pot of extravagance is just nice, just raw pluses. And then one tech card for this deck is the Cowboy. Because I was expecting a lot of Despair in this environment. So yeah, just play because Cowboy is just an overall great cards. And then initially I was playing Super Poly, but like throughout 10 matches I only activated once. And Super Polying your opponents like the Mirror Jades, not the best thing to do if you are not going for OTK, because when you super poly your opponent's Mirror Jades, they in the end phase they will still going to clear your monster off. So during the last few days of the Remote Duel Battle Royale, I replacing super poly with this, because I also sick of the hand traps from Sky Striker, because they have tons of hand traps to deal with me, like the Ash and Ghost Bell or even the DD Crow. So this is nice. And then for the Eldlich cards, we have 2 Curse Outland, 1 Blackening and 1 Whitening Black Elixir. I think it's necessary to play say 1 out for each, because you don't want to fully rely on Sanguine to bring out your Golden Lord, because sometimes when you get Ash, it'll be a pain in the ass. So yeah, just play it at 1 each. Then we have 1 Counter Traps, 3 Conquistador, and 2 Haquero. Alright, these are the 6 cards that can set by the Elixir. So the ratio is like 6 and 5, because they can set each other's. And then for the Floodgates, 1 Verity, 1 Imperial Order, 2 Rivalry of Warlord, 2 Gozen, 2 there can only be 1, and 3 Skill Drain. Yeah, the best card is definitely be Skill Drain. The blessing to have 3 copy of it. And then these are like to cover most of the decks in this current meta. Like a Brave Tenny wise, you can go for there can only be one, and Gozen Match as well. Gozen Match and Ravioli Volot just turns down the Brave Token engine, and then sometimes Sky Striker. And then for Thunderies, there can only be one. It's great against them. And then for Despiel, depending on the matchups, if they have Brave Token, yeah, just keep it. The side out there can only be one, and then keeping this for this. Yeah, because this kind of floodgates is just too situational, and even it's not very impactful, but they cannot go into their usual plan, their usual combo. They have to play around it. That way, there's more tendency to have mistakes. Yeah, that's how you win from having these on the board. Then Imperial Order and Vanity just self-explanatory. Yeah, playing more continuous traps is always nice because of our Golden Lord. If you ever want to revive it from the grave, you always want to send something from the field, so having continuous traps is always a plus for you. And then lastly, 3 Impermanence and 3 Torrential Tribute. Torrential Tribute, when to wipe off your opponent's monster, because like Conquistador only get rid of 1, and Skill Drain just negates the effect, but they can still summon. So sometimes if you not happen to draw into Sanguine or what, your field will be empty, and you have half time to clear it like 1 by 1, so might as well just clear it in a go with Torrential Tribute. And then in Final Impermanence is a last minute choice because of combo decks, because we only have 1 cross out right now, so this is most likely going through. So, and it's a trap, and it works going second. Previously this was either Solemn Judgment or Solemn Strike. Right now I'm just have Impermanent instead, because it's just better in this format, and I'm not regretting putting this into my main deck. So yeah, that's it for the main monster. It's very straightforward. It's trying to stun your opponents and then trying to bring out a monster and to produce some difference in resources, because your cards tends to keep on, because your Eldlich trap cards set each other, and then your Golden Lord recycle itself. Yeah, that's how a control deck works. You want to grind your opponents off, and when you find an opening, just go for games. And for the extra deck, nothing too fancy, as you know. It's mostly going to get banished off for your pots, but I think there's still some staple, you must have it for Eldlich. So for the links, I'm playing 2 Induk, 1 Link Spider, 2 Empire Circle, 1 Lina, 1 Galaxy Eye. It's just solely for the attack because it's 2k, which is huge. Right now, just nice, because sometimes you can revive back some light attribute monster, notably the Sky Thunder Juice or even Lancia, and also Nibiru, Full Empire Circle. Yeah, sometimes you have Ravioli Warlord on the field, so but you want to link it off your Conquistador, but you cannot go into this link one, so this is where Empire Circle come in place. And sometimes you use her effects, whereby you special summons your opponent's monster to their field, and then it gets to draw 1. Yeah, you just special summon some sometimes you don't bother dealing less damage. You can just attack over it, and then you just want the +1 Then Link Spider just for the trap monster, and Imduk is to punish people for placing the monster in the wrong column, and also to destroy the lava golem I gave to my opponent sometimes. And then for the Axis, 1 Sky Thunder, 3 Good Stuff Max, 1 Train that pops and also burn for 1k. Then the rank 11, the Super Dreadnought, and 2 Constella, rank 5. 1 Sky Thunder, just put it in as an assurance. Good Stuff Max, I decided to max it up because this is like part of the win condition, so I don't want to have any scenario where I banish it, or from the pots, and then I just couldn't go for games when I should able to. And this is just another form of removal, and also it has a attack over 3k, which is sometimes come in handy. This also, this as well, to overlay over Gustav Max, and its attack can go as high as 6k if you activate its effect. And 2 Constella, in case your opponent leaves in case your trap monster just survives for a turn and you happen to have 2 of it, just overlay into this to have another form of interruptions. Yeah, the cards you are most likely going to use is like the link tools, because you want to link it off your Golden Lord and then have it revive it back from your grave to gain the extra 1k power, and also immune to destructions. And so while floodgates on board, you have to be careful because you're unable to link in or overlay into some specific monster or the floodgates on the field. There's one play I always do is like when I find an opening to seal up games, I send off my skill drain on the board through the Eldlich of Golden Lord in the grave, and then attack, and after the battle phase overlay into Gustav Max. And lastly, we have the side decks. Obviously Lava Golem, because we are not normal summoning, so this is like free, and this is the only other monster for this deck. Just don't play too much monster in this deck, because sometimes you just want spell traps to send off for your Golden Lord's effects, so drawing monster sometimes could be a nightmare. 2 Cosmic Cyclone, because I was expecting mirror matches in this event as well, and also snipe off some traps from Flunderies and Sky Striker. 2 Dark Bright, this is like going first card to negate Lightning Storm, Harpy, or even Evenly Match and Red Reboot. Yeah, previously this was the King of Sky Prisons, but that one doesn't protect you from Evenly Match and Red Reboot, so this is far more superior. And also you can negate some specific powerful cards like Branded Fusion or Rite of Armacia. Yeah, you just justify whether you rather have them to have a pro one, or you don't mind them to resolve their spell traps. 2 Dimensional Barrier, because I was expecting a lot of their spell as well, so this shut down their decks. 3 Evenly Match for a mirror match, and also some rogue decks. Just an overall good card going second. And then lastly, 3 Solemn Judgments, also a going first card, because this deck loses to board wiping cards, so Solemn Judgment just says no. Yeah, that's it for the Eldlich Deck Profile. I was doing pretty well in this event with this deck, and seemed like it dodges a couple of ban lists and still survives, hopefully in the next one as well. Alright, that's it for today's deck profile. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any thoughts, don't hesitate to comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.